How to make 2025 the greatest year of your life. So, started on first, we're getting right into it. First of all, what is really, really important, and that's also the reason why I have this picture here in the beginning, and also the thumbnail. And the most important thing, what we need to remember, is we need to have a clear picture inside our head. That is the most significant thing in our entire mind. That is so important because the more clear our picture is in our mind, what we want to achieve, the higher likely we are achieving it. And I realized after a couple of months, if I don't have a clear picture, is it either a thumbnail? If I don't have a clear picture in my head of a thumbnail of my business being on where it's going to be in a couple of months, I lack clarity and I have mental clutter and I kind of feel overwhelmed. So the more clear I know, this is exactly the thumbnail I have in my mind, I can execute effectively on it. If I don't have a clear picture, I'm just like wasting most of my time because I'm like trying to figure something out. So this is the video which hopefully helps you. And this is everything after 25 years of my life, trying to like condense into this year and my huge plan for next year. So there's a lot of going on for next year. I'm starting the cohort. I have a newsletter every week since a couple of months, everything. So if you're interested, link is down below to find out more. But yeah, let's get into the video. We are starting off first with a clear picture. So we have the clear picture, as you can see as a thumbnail. That was my time as my own company. So I had a company in my past, a startup, which was actually quite successful, but it didn't make me happy. So I gave it up. We were around 10 people in the company. I gave it up. I was in the newspapers. We made quite a lot of money, especially for a startup in the first couple of years. So in the first year, first 1.5 years, we made around 300,000 euros, which for a startup, and I was 21 in this time, was pretty good. Then also, getting your dreams come whatsoever, but that's really not the point. Like, no one cares about the good car and anything. That is not really mandatory. And also having a good body. That also helps for mental clarity, where we get into a couple of minutes. So we have these 3 pillars. We have personal success, which is also relationship success, because there's these 3 pillars. We have wealth, health, and relationships. And personal success is something with relationship together. Either you have a girlfriend or you don't have a girlfriend. It doesn't really matter. Or you have a good raising family. If you're a father, if you're a mother or whatsoever, this is something to personal success. And then we also have good health, because we want to feel healthy. And if we feel healthy inside, we also have better personal success and a more financial success. And then sure, everyone of us need some way of wealth. Wealth is not having a lot of money. It is financial freedom. It is financial success in general. It is you visualizing, picturing yourself. If you have $1 million, if you have 5,000 per month, it doesn't really matter. It's how you feel comfortable and how you feel the best version of yourself. Some people need $1 billion, which I don't really think they really need $1 billion, but they think they need. And I think the most important is, what is the amount of money I feel great about, and can I do the things I really want to do in life? Do I appreciate having a family, which is probably more important than making a lot of money? But all of the 3 things are really important in general. So that is something we need to take care of. Honestly, the more financial success we have, the less problems we have. Okay, so we have good health. That's something we're starting off first, because if we don't feel healthy, everything else shatters down. So I always see it more like an 80-20 rule. 80% healthy, 20% feel happy. That is the thing. And then first of all, also to break it down with 80%, we should consume 80% non-processed food. That is so important. It is really hard to do 100% healthy, and probably only Brian Johnson is probably, maybe not even that, but he's probably the closest person on this earth to getting 100% clean and healthy. So focus on 80% healthy And 20%, yeah, this can also be a bit of processed food, maybe an ice cream, Ben and Jerry's, if you need it sometimes in a week or in a month or whatsoever. We should not like limit ourselves, because otherwise, if we limit ourselves too much, we have mental issues, and mental issues are also not healthy. So yeah, we should always focus on high protein, because the higher protein we have, the more muscles we build, the more fuel we mostly have, and the better we feel overall. You don't need and there's really no high protein limit. Sure, if you eat over 300s, yeah, as most bodybuilders probably know how it end up. But it is not really unhealthy to eat a lot of protein. Then we should also, while working, focus on low carb during work. That is so important, because if we eat, especially something with high carbs, we do feel extremely tired afterward, because we spike insulin, insulin falls down, and we have this dip. What we also should do, avoid refined sugar, especially, which kind of suits to the low carb during work. Try to opt for natural sugars. Sweet potatoes are a great thing, or fruits in general, because of the vitamins, of the nutrients in general. And then try not to consume too much gluten and bread. That is really not that good for the gut and so on. Then what is also really important, we need to have a week, twice a strength training minimum and twice cardio. That is just for heart health and bone and muscle health, for longevity. Then we should also include fasting. And we should also, before forgetting it, include daily walks. That suits pretty well to the strength and cardio training, because daily walks is more like a chill way. And also we are not raising too much our zone cardio. So walking is, I think, a two zone cardio. So what I also want to say is daily walks are pretty important, just because we have this zone 2 cardio, and running mostly is on zone 4 or 5. So we really have a high blood flow through the body. Okay, so we also should include fasting, especially if men and women are different on that. Women is at around 12 to 12 hours. This has a few things. I don't want to get into too much detail why. And then for men, it should be like around 16.8 to 23.1. So 16 is the minimum for boosting testosterone in some ways. We don't need to fast every single day, but especially if you're working, it is beneficial to have more mental clarity. For example, biologically, if you want to go hunting as a man, I don't know how many 10,000 BC, it is beneficial to be dead on a fasted body and not having a full stomach. What also I would recommend, to have the 80-20 rule of good health. Do once a week sauna, just in general, to also feel relaxed. Okay, so getting on to what is more important, probably personal success. Personal success is pretty simple as well. I try to narrow it down as much as possible to not make this video as long as possible. The most important thing for having a personal success and then shifting over later to financial success is we need a clear mental picture, as I said in the beginning. The more clear the picture in our head is, the more successful in every situation in life we are going to be. And for mental picture and a clear mental picture, we need a few different things. There's probably even more, but that was just what I was writing down for the script. So we need to have planning. We need to know where we want to go, and we need to have a clear, actionable goal. I have this in a 12-week system where we'll go after that to the financial success, but we need to have a clear, actionable goal, and the best for 3 months. So 3 months, we have a specific goal we want to reach, and then we plan it and break it down into smaller, actionable goals, which do per month or per week. And two things which helps me a lot achieving personal success and work-related success is writing and fasted work. Fasted work, for example, is in the morning, no food, nothing except of the black coffee or matcha or yerba mate, as Enroomers often say. That is really important. And then later on, when I have this fasted work, and I mostly read in the morning as well, just right after waking up, I go into writing. So I wake up, take a cold shower, And then I do fasted work and writing as my first task. And this already helps me a lot with clarity. And if I already win the first 2 hours of the day with mental clarity and not be cluttered with my phone or dopamine things which spiking up, we don't really get this overwhelm. So we can really focus more narrow down on what do we actually want to achieve today. And then now the most important part, because most people are probably the most important thing for most humans on this world is money. Money, or in general wealth can also be a wealthy life. It doesn't really need to be money itself. Money is a tool to have a better and wealthier life, but it should not be the main focus. So here we have a couple of things, and one of the most important things for me, what I realized after years of having a business and starting now being in a one-person business right now since a few years, is financial success, is flow. For financial success is flow and a clear actionable goal as a system, the 12-week strategy or plan or whatsoever. So I will come down to that in at least, but we want to have the best flow possible. The more flow we have during the day, the more flow we actually achieve. And the thing is, flow is actually the reward itself. So we want to get into flow state as much as possible and as many times as possible during the day, during the week, during the year. Because the more we are in flow state, the more clarity we have, the better we can work on our goals, the more successful we are going to be. And flow is also where we feel the most happiest. And we also have a productivity boost of 500%. So for example, if you're in the act with a woman, you are also in flow state and then you feel happy. So flow is in actually every part of our life. It's in sport, training, and whatsoever. There's a lot of really good books out there. And a couple of things what we want to avoid to get into flow state every single morning, to really get this morning boost and really focus on the thing you want to achieve today, is when we wake up, we should not have any phone anywhere close to us, no connection to social media or anything in general, and really focus on the things we want to achieve a day. The more deep work we have, the more successful we are going to be. It's not like working 12 hours, mostly 4 hours is where you have the best flow and you finish up 80% of the work. And everything else, if anyone is telling you need to work 12 hours a day, you can work 12-hour days and you sometimes need to, but most of the good work gets done in 4 hours, and the more hours you work, the more the quality of your work decreases. So we have fasted work as well in the morning. As I mentioned before, it helps us mental clarity, helps with being focused, and also I think it's probably the best states or the most happy state I feel, because it's easier to access flow state. Then coffee helps with fasting to extend our fast and also get into flow state more easily. Coffee is kind of like the trigger, like, hey, when I drink coffee, I'm into flow state immediately. Then we have a cold shower. That's what I'm doing actually before the coffee. Sorry for the unstructuredness. I didn't really structure what I will do during the day. But a cold shower, for example, also boosts dopamine, which also makes us likelier to get into flow state. We can either do it right in the morning to wake up and feel not tired, or do it after flow. It depends. I like to do it in the morning, so it just wakes me up a bit more, but I already feel quite alert in the morning already. But I think it's just a personal or maybe genetic lucky encounter, or maybe because I'm healthy or I'm trying to be healthy. So I do feel quite alert in the morning. I'm not really tired in the morning. Then we should also not have a morning routine. You're like, why everyone successful person is doing a morning routine? Actually, no, because flow states are really close to the sleeping wave. Means when we wake up and go right into work or reading, and maybe have a cold shower, brush the teeth, which is totally fine in the morning, we get so much more into the state. It is way easier to access flow state, because if you, for example, grab our phone, our waves are getting destroyed actually because of the phone. And then when we are in the part of the flow state, we have writing and one task. I mostly read first, as I mentioned before, have the coffee, and when I have the coffee, I start writing. And writing is my first task, and the task I want to focus each day is like for 1 or 2 hours. And writing also gives us more mental clarity. We also know exactly what we want to do. And when we write, everything actually makes sense because our brains get super structured and organized, and all of the information and overwhelm we have in our head, it gets down on paper and kind of like away from our brain. And this helps me so much. Okay, and now how to have financial success. I have a 12-week system, which is also a big part of my cohort. And if you independently want to build a sustainable income generating system, create a life of freedom and autonomy, and make your passion into a career and not being able to dedicate many work hours, you can consider joining my 90-day cohort, which begins January 1st, 2025. So there's 4 weeks left, and the enrollment is open now on my website. It's jeffaloop.com, you're getting redirected. And yeah, the spots are limited and only until this December 31st, 2024. So 4 weeks left, and that's where I'm actually explaining my entire 5 years of business in this cohort and how to start a successful one-person business. Okay, so getting to the last point is the 12-week strategy. That is the thing which actually propels me the most in personal and financial success. And then we have a specific goal. We have one goal we want to reach. Let's say it's a specific amount of money we want to earn in the 3 months. And then we break it down into 12 weeks. As I mentioned before, it's from a book, The 12-Week Year. And then from there on, we set monthly goals. The first month for my challenge, for example, or challenges for the one-person business, is the main focus should always be on the content first. Second of all, for the one-person business is the second focus is persuasion and sales, means funnels, business strategy, and whatsoever, what suits together. And the last month is getting the client projects, getting the customers, getting the leads, getting the potential customers into our pipeline. And then the next 3 months is but for me it is 90-day challenges. And then from there on, there's always a 90 days cohort, then the next 90-day cohort, and then 4 times a year. Yeah, but everything is on the website explained. So the link is down below. And that's actually it. That's it for this video. Everything combined. Have a clear picture, good health, personal success, and financial success. Everything was breaking down here. Sure, I can go into more details actually, but I think this video would probably go way too long. So hopefully this video helps you a bit, even if it was kind of like superficial. I couldn't go into too much detail, but yeah, more is in the cohort or in my newsletter. Newsletter's also linked down below. And yeah, wish you a beautiful day and see you guys in my next video. Bye.